Good afternoon, Sir Amar. So today we are going to present about our assignment for social linguistics. So these are my group members. We have Suchitra, Nyavanesha, Dinisha, Blessy, and myself, Divyashri. So what is social linguistics? Social linguistics is a study of how language is connected to society and how people use it in different situations. So in ESL classrooms, teachers should think about students' culture, background, and the situation, not only focusing on their vocabulary and grammar. Sociolinguistic competence means knowing how to use the right language in different social settings and understanding how meaning changes based on who we talk to and where we are.
Okay, in our assignment, we have choose four topics. The first topic is Introduction to Social Linguistic. The second one is Language, Dialects and Varieties. And also third one is Gender and Age. The fourth topic is Language Change. So based on these four topics, we would like to present like how does knowledge of social linguistic competence benefit ESL teachers in the classroom. Next slide.
Okay, we start from topic one, which is social linguistics, introduction to social linguistics. So, as a ESL the teacher get to know the connection between language and society. So, teachers know that language is not used the same way by everyone by learning this topic, where how we speak depends on where we live, our background, and who are with. And as teachers, we must understand that our students may speak differently because of their environment or culture background. That's completely normal. So moving into broader view of language proficiency, where speaking good English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It also about knowing when to be formal or informal, and how to speak politely, and how to fit into the same I mean how to fit into different situations. So we should teach the students not just the language, but also how to use it properly in real life. And then moving into creating inclusive classrooms, where all students come from different backgrounds, as I said just now. So we need to make sure our classroom feels safe and welcoming for everyone, so that the students don't feel insecure, and they feel respected and accepted in the classroom, and they will be more confident to speak in classroom and join in group activities or group games and more. And then moving into fourth point, where respecting language variation, where students might speak English in different ways, maybe with a local accent or mixed with other languages like Manglish. So instead of correcting them all the time, we can respect their way of speaking and slowly guide them to use standard English. So this makes them feel more confident and proud with their identity in the classroom. So they don't feel degraded, like they won't feel they won't feel insecure to practice their culture background, or how they speak in their culture. So that's all from me.
Okay, in this topic too, I have learned that languages changes based on like who we talk to, where we are from, and also our social background. So, from this topic, I get to know about code switching. So, code switching means that when someone changes the way they speak based on who they are talking to, for example, like a student, they might speak differently to their friends rather than speaking to their teacher. So why this is help teachers is that from this topic, teacher can actually understand to accept and also support the students when they use different language styles. So instead of punishing them, they can actually teach them on how when to speak formal language and when to speak in informal languages. So moving on to the language varieties. So language varieties, like it comes from many forms like dialect or even slangs. So we know that from everyone does not speak English in the same way. Based on this thing, teacher can actually understand languages variety so that they don't they don't judge the students for using different accent or even the slangs. So they will actually will help students move smoothly between the casual and also formal English. Another one is about speech communities. So speech communities, it's more to a group of people where they share a similar way of speaking because they live together, for example, with their for example, like students teach, for example, like students, neighbors, or even families. So these actually help the ESL teacher so that they understand the speech communities where they can design a lesson plan based on the real life situation. They can give the students about activity like a role play and then ask the students to act like they are doing an job interview. So by that, they can actually learn how to use the English in their daily lives. So next slide. Okay, this is are the examples that I have explained for the what we call the language varieties, speech communities, and also code switching. Yeah, next slide. Yeah.
Okay, moving to the topic 3, which is highlight sociolinguistic competence, which the skill of using language appropriately based on the setting, listener, and the context. It's explain how language use differ depending on gender, age, class, and culture. For example, women may say, "I'm going to attend the meeting," while men might say, "Gonna hit the meeting." Similarly, same goes to younger people may say, "I'm kind of today," instead of the more formal, which is, "I'm feeling rather unwell today." So culturally, differences also play a role. Instance, Japanese students may pause before answering, while American students respond quickly. Uh, so when ESL teachers apply sociolinguistic competence, this helps students feel included and confident, improve classroom communication, and prepare for their real world introduction beyond just grammar and exams. In that case, using this approach improves students' language use across different situations and builds their social and cultural awareness. Passing to the next person.
Okay, so moving on to the last topic we have chosen for this assignment is topic 4, language change. So what is language change? According to what we have learned in this course, Introduction to Social Linguistics, language change is the natural process to which languages evolve over time. So these changes is influenced by few factors such as
historical events, cultural development, social trends, and also technological advancement. So why does language change happen? Firstly, I would say social class, dialects, gender, and culture. We all know that different group of people speak in a different way. It might be their slang, pronunciation, or even the vocabulary that they use. For example, some people may use British English and some may use American English. Example, the word lift and elevator, it's actually the same thing, but it's just in the different slang. Secondly, I would say it's the contact with other languages. When community interact, they often borrow words and phrases. For example, the word karaoke, it's actually a Japanese word, but we borrowed and use it as it's an English word. And next, I would say is the influence of new trends. That new technology creates new vocabulary, such as words emoji. I don't think the word emoji exists in the earlier time. Lastly, I would say it's the informal speech patterns. People often change language in their everyday conversation by using shorter or easier form. For example, the word gonna instead of using going to. So for me, I think this commonly happen with those people uses English at home as their main language. So next we move on to what are the benefit for ESL teacher. First, teacher able to encourage respect and language diversity. A teacher who understands language variation can help students appreciate there's actually no a single correct version of English. For example, in British English we uses sweets, but in American English it uses as candy. So instead of viewing local form as incorrect, teacher with social linguistic awareness recognize them as regionally appropriate. For example, as what my fellow mates mentioned earlier, a Malaysian student might say, I already eat, refer to Malay version of saying, saya sudah makan. A teacher can respectfully explain that this reflects Malaysian English and can introduce the formal standard, which is, I've already eaten, instead of correcting them by scolding or punishing them in front of the whole class. This will make the student feel valued and respected. The second point, I would say teacher able to support inclusive and engaging classroom. Incorporating language change into lesson help English learning more relevant and also student-centered. For example, discussing how words like streaming or screenshot have taken on new meaning in this technological culture make classroom discussion more engaging. Teacher can also show how language adapts over time by comparing older terms like typewriter with laptop. And the last one, I would say teacher able to build student confidence and identity. Understanding informal forms like wanna or gotcha, wanna instead of using want to and gotcha instead of got you, helps teacher respond with guidance. For example, using I wanna go is very common in spoken English, even if I want to go is more formal. When teacher acknowledge this without judgment, it actually reduces the anxiety and fear of making mistake and also foster a supportive environment where students feel confident and in expressing themselves. That's all for me.
Devashri, you muted your mic.
Okay, in conclusion, social linguistic teaches us that language is more than just words and grammar. So it is closely linked to who we are and our culture and the society we are in. So as future ESL teachers, learning about things like different way of speaking, dialects, switching between languages and how languages changes over time can help us make our classrooms more welcoming and respectful. So when we value the different ways of our students speak and focus on real life communication, we help them learn better. We can make them feel more confident and understand other cultures too. So in the end, using social linguistics help us to teach English in a way that is fair, meaningful, and supportive for all the students. That's all from me. Thank you.